everybody. Welcome to What's in the Box, which was recently described as the best lockdown comedy show. And do you know who said that? Samuel Pepys in his diary. Well, everyone else is making up shit about him. I might as well. Jed Salisbury.
Hiya, pal. You all right?
I'm very well. Welcome to What's in the Box. Are you excited? How well do you think you'll play?
You know what? I'm very competitive, so I'm like down for this. I'm gonna go crush it, I think.
Excellent confidence. I like the confidence there, Jed. The next guest I'm going to bring on, it's a returner. It's his fifth time on the show. It's Mark Grimshaw. Hello, Mark. This is your fifth appearance. What is making you so addicted to What's in the Box?
Something to do for us. I don't know if you're aware, but there's not much of those around at the minute.
You've got a different wallpaper this time. It's not your black and white wall anymore.
No, it's the same wall, but with things on it.
Lovely. It's like I'm back in the Odeon. Remember cinemas? Oh, they were fun. Our next guest is another returner. It is Ben Paddon, who is living in Los Angeles, and
Yes.
it's July the 4th today.
Yes, it is all day. Apparently, I'm told that it started around midnight, and I'm told it will continue probably through to midnight. That's just the tradition. That's just the way they do things over here. It's a little different, but you know what? I'm willing to give it a go.
Yes, it's very season 1 of 24 of you there.
Yeah. I think that's actually where they drew their inspiration from, because that is, of course, a very patriotic television program, and I think that's what inspired the whole July 4th thing.
Of course. I missed the episode where Jack has to detonate the fireworks on time. We're going to start with round 1.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 1 is called What's in the Box. I've got a slick black box with a mystery item inside, and our guests are going to guess what is in there. They'll most likely be wrong, but they then have to convince me why their guess was the closest. We're going to start with newbie Jed today. Jed, what do you think is in the box?
A plastic dinosaur.
Plastic dinosaur, straight out of the mark there. Ben Paddon, what do you think is in the box?
I think that guess is absurd and ridiculous. I think it's 2 plastic dinosaurs.
I'm sensing a pattern. Mark, what do you think is in the box?
I am a big believer in the rule of 3. So therefore, I am going to say a Dale Winton Funko Pop.
A Dale Winton Funko Pop. I really wish that they would that would be in existence.
3 plastic dinosaurs.
Of course. You can't have Dale Winton without plastic dinosaurs. I think he is one, or was one. It is actually, drumroll please.
I got nothing to drum on.
It's an umbrella, a full-on black umbrella. Oh, how did that fit in the box? Some sort of magic sorcery going on
Is
here.
that box owned by Mary Poppins?
It is. Yeah, it's not got a parrot hook though, but yes, we've got a big old umbrella. I'd open it, but I know that people are afraid of that sort of thing, so I won't set them off or anything. But Jed, you thought it was a plastic dinosaur. Please explain why your guess was the closest.
Well, first of all, I was pretty darn close, because if you had attached some legs and some teeth to that, you could pretty much have a dinosaur made out of an umbrella. I don't know if you've ever seen like Smart or Art Attack, but give me 10 minutes and some PVA glue, I'll get you a plastic dinosaur.
I like that confidence. Technically, if you added legs and a face to anything, you could claim it was a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Even Dale Winton, I guess.
I've got a lot of dinosaurs, that's all I'm saying.
Ben Paddon, you thought it was 2 plastic dinosaurs. Please explain why your guess was the closest. And bear in mind, you can't really repeat Jed's answer again.
Oh no, I'm not going to repeat that milquetoast answer. No, my answer is very clear. So there are multiple fabrics making up the umbrella. You got your wooden handle, you got your metal bar in the middle for support, you got your cloth fabric, and I would imagine that that's exactly the kind of thing you would do with the remains of 2 dinosaurs. You can't make an umbrella with the remains of 1 dinosaur. That's patently stupid. So it's clearly 2 dinosaurs.
Okay.
Sorry, can I make a little issue? You did say 2 plastic dinosaurs.
Prove to me right now that dinosaurs were not made of plastic.
All right, you've got me. Fair play.
Mark Grimshaw, you thought it was a Dale Winton Funko Pop with 3 additional plastic dinosaurs. Please explain why your guess was the closest.
Sorry, there must be an issue with my signal because I think you misheard me. I actually said a Dale's Winter, as in winter in the Yorkshire Dales. And I don't know if you've ever spent winter in the Yorkshire Dales, but it is notoriously rainy, which, is what an umbrella is useful for. Therefore, my answer was closest. I think we need to fix the signal, but I said a Dale's Winter.
Oh my gosh. Right, I've got 3 points on offer here. Only one person gets the 3 points. And
doesn't lie about their answer either.
well, you say that in 10 minutes that you could make a dinosaur out of an umbrella. This show is about half an hour long. If you can prove to me, just sketch out the plans somewhere else. If by the end of this episode you can prove to me that you can make a dinosaur out of an umbrella, I will give you the 3 points instead.
Do that, because if you're focused on doing that, then you won't be focused on the rest of the games, and one of us will win.
You underestimate my focus.
Well, we will find out later in the show if Jed has done that. But in the meanwhile, it's time for round 2.
Round 2. I feel like.
Thank you for that. I'll put in my own music later, Jed.
Oh,
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 2 is called Sentimental Value. Our guests have bought their own items in their own box, which they will attribute to another contestant. It is then up to that contestant to convince me that this object they've never seen before means the world to them. Maybe something happened in their childhood, or something made them the person that they are today based on this object that they've never seen before. Ben, you are going to be starting, which means your object will be given to you by Jed Salisbury. Don't take out an object yet. Jed, what is the item that you are reuniting Ben Paddon with?
Well, Ben, we go way back. So I thought some nunchucks would be the perfect item.
Okay, right.
Yes.
Ben Paddon, please explain to me why this has so much sentimental value.
I do remember those nunchucks, actually, and thank you for bringing those. Those are actually from my college days. Anyone who went to college with me knows that I did have a very brief foray into vigilante justice. I was a masked vigilante. We're sometimes called superheroes. I think that's a little one of the items in my box has gone off. I do apologize. I think that title is a little bombastic, a little egocentric. So I prefer the term awesome person with nunchucks, which is what I use. That was my primary means of defending the peoples of my hometown of Luton in Bedfordshire. And I didn't get very far, mostly because I actually lost my nunchucks. And now I know where they are. You stole them, you bugger. So I actually only went out there once and I got my butt kicked.
That's right, everyone. I specifically booked an American for this 4th of July record, and he's just said bugger. So it's all pretty cool here. Next up, Mark Grimshaw, you're going to be reunited with an item from Ben's box. Ben, what is in your box?
The item that I'm reuniting you with is this plush narwhal that you may fondly recall from your history.
Okay, we had narwhals mentioned in the last episode, so it's a recurring theme for today. Mark Grimshaw, please explain your relationship between this plush narwhal and yourself.
Well, actually, it's kind of tied to another childhood interest of mine, which was the television series Futurama. And in that series, there is an episode in which Fry kind of falls in love, not platonic love, with this narwhal that reminds him of Leela. And so I got that because that episode really touched me. And it was, such an emotive episode, as Futurama was very good at doing. So I got that narwhal when I was younger to remind me of that episode, because that episode meant so much to me. And
yes, I believe that episode came out when I was about 20. So thank you for making me feel really ancient, Mark.
very welcome.
Jed, you're now going to be reunited with an item from Mark's box. Mark, what is this item?
It is a pile of flyers from my 2016 Edinburgh show.
How many would you say are there?
I don't know, but I will say that this is not all of them that I still have. There are another 2,500 somewhere.
So, Jed, Mark's Edinburgh 2016 Edinburgh show, a few thousand flyers there. Why does it mean so much to you?
Well, I don't know if any of you guys have ever been in love, but I certainly have. And you know what, young love gets so misconstrued in today's population that you always remember the first time you are when someone tells you you love you. And I remember going to Edinburgh and falling in love with a beautiful girl called Robin. And like we had like Edinburgh, like it's 30 days, but that was 30 days. Every morning we'd wake up, say, "Hey, let's do something wild today. Let's do something crazy." And then one day we went, "Let's go see some middle of the road 3-star stand up."
That is extremely insulting to Tony Wright and James Allen.
Also, is the best review you've ever had, Mark.
And I said,
How
"No,
dare you be so harsh and
Let's
so
go
accurate."
to a great stand-up show or a 2/3 great stand-up show."
Hey, we had guests as well. It was 3/4 good.
3/4. And she went, "Sure." And then after, like, as Matt Grimshaw was going to the stage, she just turned to me and went, "I love you." And I went, "You might not in 15 minutes.
Lovely
And that's
stuff
the first time
there.
someone said, "I love you." So I collected all the flyers.
Yeah.
Can I say that this show was done when I was, I think, about 6 months into performing comedy? You are optimistic to think I did 15 minutes.
That's how long it took for the impact of your mediocrity to really sink in, like right down to the bone.
6 months in, you're arrogant enough to think you can do 15 minutes. That's where we're at.
Well, my first year at the Fringe, I was arrogant to think I could do 55 minutes. Here's a poster from my 2017 show, and the only thing in existence that proves that I did a Christmas show in August, and that's just kept right under my bed there. Because I never want to think of it again. I've got points to give away.
Oh, let's sleep on it.
We've got a joke. I don't like
Just
giving
got one.
points for jokes, but I have to. Ben, that was very good. That is a bonus point.
Wait, no one told
right,
me we
Ben,
were doing jokes.
Oh, yeah. The rules change every episode, Mark. You should know this by now. You've been on
No,
5
okay.
fucking times.
In that case, I've got 2 points just for this show.
And that's
right,
across
Ben,
all performances. That's a cumulative.
Yes, that's across the whole month.
Yeah.
Ben, your masked vigilante looter ninja, which is what I've written down. That's the one that I believe in the most. Mark just said some dross about a cartoon show. That's 1 point. Jed, I think, confused the game with therapy. But I laughed a lot at you trying to think of a made-up name, and you came up with Robin. That's what I've written down and underlined.
It was Robin Hintz.
Oh no! That's 4 points that I'm giving you, Jed. That's the end of that. It is
Sorry, can I
time
just
for
interrupt you
round.
there first?
What's that?
You docked me points for talking about sentimentality to a cartoon. Can you tell me what The Simpsons means to you, please?
I love The Simpsons, but there is no round called Frizz Talks About The Simpsons for 3 minutes.
Which brings us to our next round. Frizz talks about The Simpsons. Frizz, you have 15 hours in which to talk about everything you love about the animated television series Bob's Burgers. Frizz, you're up.
I don't pay for StreamYard Premium, so I only got 4 hours. It's time for round 3.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 3 is the music round, and I'm bringing back a classic round that I haven't done in a while. It's called Batman or Band. In this, I have a list of possible band names, but they could also be Batman villains.
I'll go for 5, please.
Number 5, Colonel Sulphur. Is Colonel Sulphur a Batman villain or a band?
I'm going to go with band.
It is a Batman villain, I am afraid, Mark. Next up, Jed, please a number between 1 and 8.
I am going to go with 7, please.
Number 7 is, of course, Copperhead. We all know Copperhead. But is he a Batman villain or are they a band?
They're a band?
It is a Batman villain. This game's going great. Ben Paddon, please. A number between 1 and 8 that isn't 5 or 7.
Oh, you excluded the 2 I was going to go for hilarious comedy. I'm going to go for 2.
Number 2 is Tallyman.
Tallyman is
Tallyman.
800% a band. That's 8 bands.
Okay, is that your final answer?
I'm going to say it's my final answer.
Well, it is a Batman villain. It's also what I'm doing at the moment. I am the Tallyman. I will say, though, because I did research, so I searched Tallyman on Spotify, and I found a DJ under that name who has 1 monthly listener on Spotify. To put that in context, I've got 38 monthly listeners. So I don't know whether I'll hand it to the other team. So Tallyman is technically the name of a DJ, but not a very popular one. Should I give Ben the point?
No.
They're going to say no. They don't want me to win.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It's plain and simple.
I'm a fair democracy.
How fucking stupid do you think you are? Seriously, right?
Mark Grimshaw, a number between 1 and 8, please. That isn't 2, 5, or 7, obviously.
I'm going to go for the ranking of where I fell in the list of comedians on the show. I'm going to go for 3, please.
So you're going to say 8.
3. Celtic Woman. Is Celtic Woman a band or a Batman villain?
That's got to be banned, surely.
It is a band for the first point in this round, Mark Grimshaw. Yes, they have 663,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Jed, please, 1, 4, 6, or 8?
6, please.
6. X-Ray Specs. Now, is this a band or a Batman villain?
Band?
It is a band with 147,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Back to Ben. Number 1, 4, or 8?
I'm going to go with 8 because I made a very funny joke about that number some moments ago, and I want to relive the glory.
Seagulls.
Firstly, you don't have to just use initials. I know how to spell Spice, and I know that this is the Spice Girls, and I know that that's a band. You can't pull the wool over my eyes, Frizzle.
Spice Girls begins with an S, not a C. That is a band, Ben. You are correct, with 723,000 monthly listeners on Spotify.
I think he shouldn't get the point because he did definitely say that it was the Spice Girls, and it absolutely was not.
He was doing a hilarious joke, and they get a bonus point for that.
You
Yeah.
little shit.
Yeah. Stuff that in your
Grimshaw,
point. You missed the mark
number
there.
4. Oh, Ben, so many jokes and so many points. Mark Grimshaw, a number between the numbers 1 or 4, please.
I'm going to go for the amount of points I think I've currently got. 4.
Ever the optimist.
You've got 5 points at the moment, Mark. Humphrey Dumpler. Now, is this a Batman villain or a band?
I've got to go Batman villain for that.
It is a Batman villain. When
I
I was
knew
doing
that
the
one.
research, Humphrey Dumpler. Yeah, Humphrey Dumpler is the name. He also goes by Humpty Dumpty. That's clever. What he does is he likes breaking things and then fixing them. And he then went insane and did that exact process to his grandma. And that was a Batman comic back in the day. Jed, we've got the last one here, and it is Elephant Man. Is this Batman or a band?
Batman?
It is a band, I'm afraid. Elephant Man, 400,000 monthly listeners on Spotify there. Those are the points all locked
The
in.
film that's named after them isn't what you'd think it is.
No, the John Hurt one. It's Batman doesn't really appear much in it. He has a cameo near the end, though. I don't know. After the credits, I assume Samuel L. Jackson hires Elephant Man to join the freak cinematic universe. It's time for round 4.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 4 is called What's That in the Box? I've asked my guests, as you already know, to bring in items from a box. They haven't used all of them yet, but what they're going to do is they're going to pick one of the items. They're then going to shout it at the screen whilst they're on mute. Jed, do you have an object from your box that you're ready to scream out at the screen?
I do indeed, yes.
Lovely. Right, I'm going to put you on mute. I'm going to give you the solo performance. Jed, please shout out the object right now. I think I know what it is. Ben, you have your hand up. You have both hands up. Ben, what do you think the item is?
It means if I get it right, I get 2 points. It's face mask. I'm guessing it's face mask.
It is, yeah, it is. Clearly, it is.
Excellent. Very
I
good.
also,
So
not
Ben
only did I
gets a
have
point.
both of my hands up, I did say face mask twice.
Yes,
So
but
that's 4
don't,
points total.
don't push your luck. Jed, you also get a point.
I think he's an over-eager suck-up who needs to lose 4 points, quite frankly.
Do I show the item
But
now?
then
Can I prove
that just means you tie, Mark.
Yeah, do it.
Next up, it's Ben who's going to be shouting an item, and Mark, you will get the first guess, just to make it a little easier. Ben, do you have an item that you are ready to shout out?
I do.
Lovely. You are now muted. You are now full on the screen. Ben, please shout out your item. Right, they've said it 3 times now. Mark, do you know what that is?
Can I just request it again? Because my signal went a bit funny then, so it just went and couldn't really.
Okay. To be fair, that is what they did. Ben, please shout out your item again. I've got no idea.
I mean,
Mark, do you have any
what it
clue?
looks like, I'm very concerned because it very much looks like he's just going dribble. And if he's just got a pot of dribble, then I'm very concerned.
I was getting Rimmel. Jed, before the item is shown, do you have any guesses what it might be?
Yes, it is 1988's Grimlock Transformer figure.
That's
Is it, Ben?
That's shockingly close. It is, in fact, a tribble.
A tribble.
It's a tribble.
Okay. Right. No, that makes sense.
Also, ginger tribble. That's important.
I'm glad you didn't shout out ginger tribble because that would have been very
everyone.
difficult to get. Sadly, no points awarded that. Now, Mark, do you have an item ready to scream at the screen?
I do.
Okay, right. You are now muted, and Mark, shout it out now. I have a feeling it's not dribble, but would anyone like to request he repeat?
Yeah.
Yes, please, for the love of God.
Okay, Mark, you
Slow
are getting
down
a
a bit as
second
well,
go.
please.
A second go at shouting. I know the last 2 words, but I've got a clue. Any guesses, anyone?
Is it Sex Life of the Potato Men on DVD?
Oh, that Johnny Vegas vehicle.
Yeah.
My gosh. Ben, any guesses?
I was gonna say Raunchy Dog and Pony Show on DVD, but that's basically the same thing.
Mark, what is your DVD?
It is 8 out of 10 Cats Claws Out on DVD, so you can relive all of the finest topical comedy of 2005 and 2006.
Short DVD then.
Yep. 90 minutes. 3 series.
Oh. Wow. I don't think anyone was ever going to guess that. Why did you put that in your box? I clearly said in the Facebook chat something like unique and of note.
Well, it is unique. No other fucker bought this.
That is the first copy I've seen. That is the first copy
That's
I've
fair.
seen.
That is...
I didn't know they. So here's a fun thing. BritBox here in the US, we get 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown. We do not get 8 out of 10 Cats or Countdown.
So
That is weird.
That is a bit weird that you can see them doing. Do you know what they actually do?
I know. I'm aware of what the actual premise of the parent show is. I've only seen it a couple of times while I was visiting the UK. I have never seen it actually in America. It's unwatchable in America legally. I would have to download it illegally or just go to YouTube where everyone's uploaded every episode.
I
Because
feel like
my favourite bit about this DVD is the fact they've had to add a disclaimer in text at the bottom of the screen at one point that just says, Michael Jackson was never found guilty.
Which I will then have to add the text at the bottom of this screen. And there it is. Right, that's the end of round 4. It's time for round 5.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 5 is the quickfire round. It's called 23 seconds, and I've asked my guests to prepare a specialist subject. They're going to name as many items as they can from that subject in 23 seconds. The person who goes first always goes first in this round to give the other two chance to prepare. And no surprise, it's Ben. Ben, you're in the lead. What is your specialist subject, please?
My specialist subject is novels by Terry Pratchett.
Naming as many Terry Pratchett novels as they can. Here is Ben Paddon in 23 seconds, starting now.
Truckers, diggers, wings, thug, going postal, raising steam, making money, interesting times, the colour of magic, the life fantastic, Mort, Reaper Man, Good Omens, Unseen Academicals. Crap, why did I pick this subject? The Unadulterated Cat.
That is time. That is time, Ben. And that was a really long title for one book. I've never read Terry Pratchett. Oh, no, I will say, you did list a few. However, he only wrote half of Good Omens, so I'm giving you half a point.
I'm okay with that.
Excellent.
Yeah, he wrote
next
the Goo
up,
and the Men's. Goo Men's.
Oh, yes. Lovely. Mark and Jed, they are tied for second place, so I'm going to go alphabetically. So, Jed, you're going to go first. What is your specialist subject, please?
it is WWF Attitude Wrestlers.
I have no idea about this. Feel free to make up some nonsense. Here is Jed naming whatever the fuck he just said in 23 seconds, starting now.
Undertaker, Triple H, X-Pac, Road Dogg, Mr. R, Stone Cold, The Rock, The Hardy Boys, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, D1, Bubba Ray, Edge, Christian, Gangrel, Mosh, Crash, China, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Paul Bearer, Kane, Shawn Michaels.
That is time there, Jed.
That's a lot.
You listed
Oh, God.
about 1 million.
I am an expert on wrestling, and none of those were real, so he doesn't actually deserve any points.
We'll see. Although I will say, Shawn Michaels, I thought he created Saturday Night Live, but we'll get to that on another time. Mark Grimshaw, what is your specialist subject?
I'll go with films based on Marvel Comics.
Okay, films based on Marvel Comics. In 23 seconds, here's Mark Grimshaw, starting now.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Blade, Blade 2, Blade Trinity, Men in Black 2, Men in Black 3, Men in Black International, Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Thor, The Dark World, Thor, Ragnarok, The Avengers Assemble, Avengers Age of Ultron, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, Guardians of the Galaxy.
That is time! And to be fair, Mark, I think you could have just listed all the Spider-Man movies and you would have won.
It started to feel a little bit there like Bubba from Forrest Gump listing the different things you could do with shrimp.
I might have some help behind me.
I'm really looking forward to Into the Spider-Verse's sequel, because I really want to live in a world where there are 4 films you can call Spider-Man 2. It's beautiful. That is at the end of the show, and I've got the final tallied points here.
Wait. Before I drew something. It's very crude because I am crafty, but I am not an artist. But I don't know if it's focusing.
That is a dino umbrella. I'm taking 3 points off Mark, and I'm adding them to Jed.
No, he hasn't actually made a dinosaur umbrella. This is absolute bullshit, Frizz.
You did pick the easiest subject, of which there are many examples behind you. I can't even look at my bookshelf. I'm back in the move.
In third place with 22.5 points, it is Ben Paddon. Very well done there. Still a pretty good score. Ben, whilst you're here, is there anything that you'd like to plug?
Yes, please listen to the Game of Rassilon. We play the Doctor Who role-playing game podcast. I'm the GM. Brilliant comedian Riley Silverman is our doctor. One of our companions is played by Dan Peck, who's a Family Guy writer. Don't hold that against him. You can listen to that online at thegameofrassilon.com, or Adventures in Time and Space, or The Death Zone if you're feeling maudlin, or you can just search your favorite podcast app.
So many websites for one thing. Very good. Links in the description below. In second place with 30 points, it is Jed Salisbury. Very well done, Jed. Whilst you're here, is there anything that you'd like to plug?
Just Google me, maybe, just like, and find stuff on there. Yeah.
Lovely. There won't be a link in the description, but if you highlight Jed Salisbury in the video title, copy and paste that into Google, you'll find all of that.
Don't just search for Jed. Don't just search for Jed.
Well, weirdly, if you search Jed Comedy, I still pop up. That's where I'm at.
That is Jed Salisbury there. And finally, with 31 points, it's Mark Grimshaw. Very well done. A well-deserved win. Is there anything you'd like to plug, Mark?
I've got a new kind of chat show thing that's going to be starting on YouTube very soon called Discontent Creator. I don't know how soon, but it's going to be probably on Fridays.
Lovely. Well, if that exists, the link will be in the description below. One more time, I've been Frizz Frizzle. This has been Jed Salisbury, Ben Paddon, and Mark Grimshaw. Now, can everyone please wave at the camera for 23 seconds as the end credits play?
Watching